Look, I've been saying it for the longest that I think the best situation for the Houston Texans is for Deshaun Watson to get suspended and for the Houston Texans to tank. And building on to the whole tanking aspect of the whole, situation, you know, if Deshaun Watson gets suspended, they might not even have to tank because of, you're not gonna have a top five quarterback under center. You're not gonna have Tyrod Taylor. How many games do you expect them to win? I don't know. Can Tyrod really win you 5 games? I think 5 to 6 is the max that I see this Houston Texans team winning next season with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, depending on the draft, of course, and also depending if any crazy trades happen. But if that's the situation you're in, where, hey, I have Deshaun Watson, a suspended Deshaun Watson, and I have a team that's not very good, now look what that gives me in the offseason. Now my offseason becomes much more difficult because I have a potential overall pick, maybe top five, maybe number one. Can you imagine if the Houston Texans still had Deshaun Watson in the offseason and still had the number one, and had the number one overall pick? I'm playing devil's advocate because yesterday I said, what if you convince Deshaun Watson to stay by also having that top potential high overall draft pick by being a losing team? And what if he's now switching back to, what if he wants to be traded? And then you have it. Now you have teams not only calling you on the potential high draft pick, but then now you have teams calling you about Deshaun Watson. And if you're asking me, that's a hell of a great situation to be in. Yes, I want Deshaun Watson to be a Houston Texan quarterback. I still think he's fantastic. The man was a top three QB last year with nothing on the offense and got no help from the defense. He's going to demand a high trade value, right? A high trade package. But if you get a top five overall pick, that has to carry a little bit less than what you could get from Deshaun Watson. But then now you have to choose. You got to choose which one you want, and you got to choose what situation do you want to be in. And I've laid out all great situations for the Houston Texans to land in. The one being, you convince Deshaun Watson to stay, you tank next year, and you have a a quarterback who wants to be here alongside a top a top overall pick in next year's draft. Or you could go on the other fence and be in a situation where teams are not going to call you on both great assets that you have, being Deshaun Watson and being the high draft pick. It just has to be which route the Houston Texans have to take. Me, I don't know which route I'm going to be on. But that's how the tank could actually help the Texans. Maybe that's the beneficial way to go. Ensure that draft pick. Ensure you have a top one. And now you could have the whole NFL waiting and watching on what you're going to do, and you could potentially make great out of this situation. But that's another topic for another day. Let me know what you guys think about that. This is a crazy, crazy, aspect. But I do like the idea of a tank. I do like the idea of losing games, and I love the idea of teams bidding for what I have. So let me know what you think is the best way for the Houston Texans to approach this. Let me guys know, as always, go Houston Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.